What's going on? My name is Mikel Jones, and you listen to the 80th episode of Who's on Top.
Welcome to episode 80 of Who's on Top. I'm Ori, your host. It is October 13th, 2021. We have a very special guest this episode. Let's introduce our analysts first. We have the Russian machine out of Rutgers, Ellis Gordon.
What's good, guys?
Looking like a true Don with the little necklace and everything. Next, we got our fencing captain, Jeremy Giles.
As always, at your service.
Our bandwagon Bucks fan, Daniel Fox. You want to unmute yourself, Foxy?
What's up, guys? Let's talk some sports.
Our Frizz bro from Syracuse, Jacob Caston.
As always, Daniel Fox taking my line. What's up, guys? Let's talk some sports.
And finally, our special guest, honorable mention, ALL-ACC, led the whole ACC with 4 interceptions and 8 forced turnovers, one of the top college linebackers in the nation, Mikel Jones from Syracuse. Welcome to the podcast.
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. So we want to give the audience a little bit of a background as to like who you are as a player and a person, if they might not know you. So I'm sure you get this a lot, but when did you start playing football? Like when did you know that's something that you wanted to do?
So I started playing football when I was 4 years old, actually. And I've been playing ever since. I haven't missed a fall. And I pretty much knew football was what I wanted to do when it was like, I say my 8th grade year, like when it was my last year playing Little League before I went to high school. That's when I started transitioning my mind to I'm going to go in high school and try to be best at football. Like offers and scholarship wasn't in my head, but I just know I wanted to get better and be good at football.
Grind doesn't stop. And in high school, I assume like you started off playing JV or you started off right in varsity?
I started off in varsity.
And we wish
You went to IMG, right?
Yes, sir. For sure.
Nice, yeah.
All right, that's awesome. And how'd you end up in Syracuse? So you played throughout high school, all in varsity. What was the recruitment process like?
So my recruiting process, it started pretty early. Like it started my 9th grade year, and then I continued to get offers throughout, like all the way to my senior year, like the last couple months until like before I signed. And it was a lot of ups and downs. It was a lot of stuff I had to learn about how recruiting works and stuff. But it was good. I can't complain, honestly. I was able to choose a good school. I seen an opportunity here at Syracuse. I seen an opportunity for me to play, an opportunity to like further my education, open up opportunities later in life. A lot of good things I could get out of it. So I took a chance, 21 hours away from home, and came to Syracuse.
Damn.
That's awesome. We also have another recruited athlete here with Ellis Gordon playing JV tennis throughout high school. So we're kind of familiar with the recruitment process as well. But and speaking of that, some of us are like aspiring student athletes, me with rugby, Jake with Frisbee, Jeremy with rec soccer, Daniel with rec baseball, and Ellis with the radio. So can you just take us through a typical day in the life of a college linebacker?
Oh, man. So typical day of a college linebacker. Everybody wake up at the same time. We all got to get up 5:50, 6 o'clock, 6:30 meetings.
Damn.
God damn.
Really?
6:30 meetings, and I'll say sometimes we start practice 8:10 or we go 9:10 for 2 hours. Sometimes we would lift before practice in between 6:30 and 8:30 or whatever. And then after that, it's straight to campus. You got to shower. It's like a very, very tight schedule. I have probably 45 minutes to shower, eat, get to campus. Then you got to stay. The next battle is stand up in class. Like, you're going to be real tired.
Yeah, that would not work for Ellis. He takes an hour and a half showers. So I don't think you could be a college football linebacker for Ellis.
And another half hour to do his hair.
But it looks
that's
good.
not
Though.
the reason he's not a college
Listen,
football athlete.
perfection takes a long time, guys.
Well, I think you need to spend a little bit longer if that's the case.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, on this top. So, after that, we'll have a class, and any window, definitely for linebackers, it's important to keep your body right. get a lot of treatment, recovery, eat a lot, put the calories back in your body, put the everything you lost back in your body. So between classes, I got to find a way to get back to the facility, get treatment or something like that. Find a way to get some food. The windows are always very tight, so you got to be.
How many calories do you think you eat a day?
Oh man, I think I'm supposed to have. It's a chart. I'm supposed to notice to it. A lot.
A lot.
Supposed to eat a lot.
Yeah. So I know this is Tony White's second year, I believe, right? You're defensive coordinator, and you guys average your defense has improved drastically since 2020, and so is your win total. Along with that, what do you attribute that to? Being on the defense, from 2020 to 2021. What do you attribute this new jump your defense has taken under Tony White?
I say that when we came back from winter workouts in February, you get to tell the vibe. Vibe from everybody. It was everybody just came from home. All of who knows where. Everybody, probably all 50 states came from home, and we had to hear about how we only won one game. So everybody came back was we can't do that again. We got to fix our habits. We got to do everything we can to put us in position. So everybody came back motivated, determined to get better. And with the defense, we know we did a lot of good things last year, but we knew we could improve that much more if we lock in on all the details and learn the defense and just get better. So that's where it started. It started in winter workouts, and it transitioned through spring workouts, summer workouts, fall camp, and then now it's not the finishing product, but it's the better half of it.
We balling a little bit.
It's the better half of it.
Yeah, I mean, and you had such a great individual season last year. I mean, I kind of ran through the accolades earlier, but how do you improve on that? It's in the NFL, the Bucks, they're a great team. Daniel's a Bucks fan, so I always use the Bucks as an example. But you're a great team. You just won the Super Bowl. How do you get yourself motivated as an individual season to kind of do better than last season? Because you did have such an incredible season last season.
Big thing was I just knew I had to work harder. Whatever I did the off season before, I made sure I was doing a lot more. Getting smarter on the field. That's one thing I wanted to improve. I just looked at a bunch of things I could improve from. I did a lot of good things, but I wasn't perfect. So I looked at those things and that's how I used myself. I used it to try to get better this season. And it's been showing up. And I'm happy. I know it's going to continue to keep going.
Yeah. And I mean, when you say get smarter on the field, is that watch films, go through analytics? Is that what goes into the process of becoming a smarter football linebacker?
Watching film is a big part about it, and even listening. When you have meetings, listening to your coaches and knowing what's actually going on. You have to think about the defense as if you're a coach on the field. You want to know what your coach knows. You want to know what he sees. You want to know why he thinks what he thinks. So when you're thinking like that, it helps on the field because our coaches can be on the field. So I got to be that voice for the team as a linebacker position, as a middle linebacker.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, maybe one of the best college football prospects of all time, and you're probably one of the few people who will ever, in college at least, go up against him. What was that like? I'm just so curious because Trevor Lawrence, I mean, I watch him play on film at least, and he's ridiculous. But you guys, I mean, Clemson still won, but compared to the rest of the season, you guys relatively stopped him in that in 2020. So what was that like going up against Trevor Lawrence?
It was one of those deals where everybody came to play. We were all locked in, and he was a good guy. I can't even take nothing away from him. He made some throws. I was like, dang, and he showed some speed. It was okay, that dude's nice for real. He's nice for real. But it was one of those games we just came locked in. Our DBs came to play. He playing with Detroit right now. He came to play. It's Garrett Williams, my roommate right now. He a baller. And we had dudes in the secondary, Robert Hanner, Jahad Carter. They came to ball, and obviously, it only works if our defensive line was all full cylinders and the linebackers getting good drops, playing good in the run fit. So it was a team effort, or a defensive effort that did. But he a baller. Can't take that away from him.
So yeah, specifically like talking about role models and kind of inspirations, like, do you have a favorite NFL player or like an NFL player that you try to model your game after? I know that like personally, I'm built like Marshawn Lynch, so I try to model my game after.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
I was thinking little Mike Tolbert. Little Mike Tolbert out. The muscle hands. No, that's Doug Martin.
Yeah. So do you have a player that you kind of like aspire to be like, or try to study as much as you can?
So like from a mindset perspective, as I grew up, I grew up watching Ray Lewis. He was that guy to me. He's a big inspiration. And like just how he plays the game, how he thinks his aggressiveness. That's why I want to model like my mindset after. But as far as like how my body's built, I'm not built like Ray Lewis. I feel like I got like a new age linebacker build. I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm not the smallest. But I'm very fast and athletic. And that reminds me of Devin White now. Devin White's a boss.
I will say right before the podcast, Ellis, like we had this question prepared, and Ellis said, "I'm sure he's gonna say Ray Lewis because he plays so much like him." So
Ray Lewis is a beast.
No, he was ready to bet on.
And then you talk about Devin White being the next Ray Lewis.
Yeah. Okay.
White, the next Devin White.
Yeah.
So,
I'm curious. Do you have a favorite NFL team?
oh yeah, Miami Dolphins.
Oh,
It's all right.
Damn.
Look, honestly, I'm a Jets fan, so anything but that I think is a win in my book.
all right. Do you guys want to move on to the fun rapid fire questions?
Yeah, let's go.
Actually, no, I had one more.
All right, go ahead, Ellis.
So I know recently the NIL was put in place for college athletes. What have you done with that? Do you have any thoughts on that? Because it's really like probably one of the most drastic changes in college sports in the last 100 years. So what have you done along that, if anything?
Well, I've been working like as soon as the opportunity came. I've been working to find a good team to help me with the NIL things. But it's been pretty hard because of school and the season. Honestly, like if you take your focus off of like what's really important, it'll get you in a place you don't want to be. Like you'll be unfocused and doing.
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
Yeah,
for sure.
Fall with school and season, that's not a place I want to be. But I definitely want to like get more involved in it. I've been doing the little small things here and there, but that's something I want to take advantage of because, like you said, it's one of like the biggest changes ever.
Yeah, and just to explain to like the audience who don't know what the NIL is, it's recently, I think this year actually, student athletes were just ruled that they're allowed to monetize their name, image, and likeness, NIL, and generate money for themselves for the first time ever. So that's what that is.
So Ellis, can we expect to see shirts with JV captain and the tennis team for Rutgers?
I will be selling tennis JV captain Rutgers shirts next. See them online.
I want a big pull
Amazon.
of Jacob with doing the hammer throw down the field all over. Yes. Oh, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
All right. Jeremy or Fox, do you guys want to do some of the rapid fire questions?
Let's do it.
Jeremy, you want to go ahead? You want to go first, buddy?
I've been running through some rapid fire questions, just to be fun. So, all right. First off, who would you rather tackle, Derrick Henry or Marshawn Lynch?
Derrick Henry I got to answer him fast.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch.
Really? Why? I'm curious.
Yeah, you're right. Derrick Henry.
The Skittles beast himself. That's hard.
Are the more dangerous backs.
Harder tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, Marshawn Lynch is like what, 37?
Okay, but we're
in
talking
their prime.
we're talking prime. We're not talking modern day.
I'll pull up on Derrick Henry.
I feel like he gets a good leg tackle in there.
Yeah, you can get something.
All right, should I ask the next one?
Yeah,
Which quarterback, I don't know why you put this, but not Tom Brady, would you like to get an interception from?
Interception, not
you
Tom
could
Brady.
if you could pick off anyone like either in the league, in college, who would you pick off?
Aaron Rodgers. So.
That's a great answer. And you know what? He wants to throw you one because he's a fraud. Just wait. You'll play in the NFC Championship game. You'll be ready to go.
All right.
How much
Trust
picks
me.
does
Wait till the fourth quarter. He wants to throw you one. That's a great answer.
All right, Jeremy, do you want to
Yeah,
move on with the next one?
Take some people there, Rogers. Anyway, would you rather have a fumble or interception? You could have either of those. You could have one of either. What would you rather have?
If I force the fumble, a fumble. But if not,
Well, let's say force a fumble and your team recovers.
He said fumble.
Fumble, yes.
Dude, he's Ray Lewis. He's not interested in these interceptions. He wants to hit people.
Yes.
I'll take the next one.
Right,
Who's got the best celebrations on the team?
Count me out. I give best celebrations. Right now, Lil Deuce. Yeah, Lil Deuce got it back with the celebrations.
Yeah,
nice little
he's
bag.
nice.
Little package, yeah.
Yeah, we have some good celebrations on this podcast. Like Ellis likes to sit down in the ground and eat snow when he scores a touchdown, so that's pretty cool.
We play football.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right.
expose me like
If you weren't playing like a defensive position, what position would you play on offense? What do you think like you'd be suited for? Running back?
Running back or slot receiver. I got hands. Yeah.
Personally, I think Ellis would be a fullback. He's just built like a tank.
I think Ellis plays kicker. No. Holder.
Hold.
Oh, we're just racking on me today. I got one. I got a quick one.
Yeah.
I got a quick one. So like,
Who has got to
How-
have?
like you know, Brian Dawkins like put the fear in God into people. Who in Syracuse is like the craziest motherfucker? You don't want to mess with them on the team, or like an opposing Pember.
Ooh, we got a lot of guys like that, but I'm gonna say Jeffrey Can. He's in my class, linebacker from Canada. He's a beast. If you pay attention to special teams, I know some people don't really pay attention to special teams, but he put fear in every team. I know he's on everybody's scouting report just off the special team. So
I have a question. So Syracuse and Ithaca are only a 1 hour drive away. When is Syracuse going to stop dodging Ithaca and play us in a game?
Get on our level first.
I don't know.
It's not even worth our time.
Yeah. I don't know that question.
You don't want to answer that.
Yeah,
All right. We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting.
Yeah.
It's something to do
We
with
have the third-ranked D3 kicker in the nation, so we'll see.
You have the what?
Third-ranked D3 kicker in the nation.
We have the first-ranked D1 kicker in the nation.
Nothing like
Well-
Adam Korsak with those
We're
punts.
talking
Rutgers,
apples and oranges.
Rutgers loves to punt the ball, and Adam Korsak is the perfect man for the job.
All right. Last, you want to do a few more rapid fire and then we'll move on?
Sure.
Oh,
Okay,
sure.
All right, I got a quick one.
All right, go ahead,
So out
Jeff.
of like all your time in college, like what's your favorite one play you had?
You said favorite.
Favorite play you made.
Like favorite,
Highlight.
or favorite highlight.
Probably the one recent one versus who did we play? Rutgers. The 4th and 1 stop.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Ellis, did you like that play too?
Was not a fan of that play. That was on Langdon. That was on Johnny Langdon.
Perhaps, bro.
Crazy.
I'm curious. Do you have any like game day superstitions? Like, I don't know, when Fox goes out, he has to go out to Crazy Train when he's playing backyard football. Do you have any like songs or rituals you have to do before having any crazy?
No, you have to run around your opponent while Crazy Train, not just run out.
This game, I don't know if I got rituals, but like I got the same schedule. Like I listen to the same type of music. Like I start the day off some slow music. It'll build up to the game. Specific playlist too. And I do the same stretches for my game. Same type of stretches. I go to the corner of the field, pray, things like that. Like right before the game. And yeah, those some game day rituals.
All right, I got one more, I think. So we know Dan's a big Masked Wolf fan, and you mentioned music. Who is your favorite artist, like to listen to before
Pump
game
up
day,
artists. Pump
specifically?
up artists.
Yeah, like specifically game day.
See, I listen to a lot of people. Favorite? It's a tough question.
It can be favorite pump up song if you got one.
Pump up song.
Or artist, whatever.
I say artist G Herbo.
G Herbo.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We got any other?
Or you want to ask your stupid question you wanted to ask?
All right. How many tackles did you have in 2020? Do you know this off the top of your head?
I it was on paper. It says 69. But,
Yep, that's what I saw. So sorry, I had to ask that.
yeah, on paper, but it was probably like 79 or something. They missed a lot of tackles.
I don't know.
You might
that's-
get
Actually, wait,
in
I'm
your
curious
career,
about
you
that.
might get interviews from ESPN, but they're not asking that question. We're the only podcast asking those type of questions.
I actually have a question. Do they like how often do they miss tackles? Like, I'm so curious about that because like I feel like that's a hard stat to like keep track of, kind of. Like, because like
Almost
if
as
there's
much
two
as you
people
miss
tackling-
tackles, Ellis.
I feel like they do here and there. They do.
All right.
They definitely do.
All right, cool. I mean, I pretty much like I've exhausted my list of questions. Do you guys have anything else left?
Nah, but
I'm good.
want to jump into predictions real quick? Have them into the predictions since we're
Just
on.
the NFL ones.
Yeah, the NFL ones
Yeah, let's
and the college football ones.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that. So I'll kind of explain this segment, but every week we have predictions. So our analysts and sometimes our guests too get to like decide who wins in a matchup. So for example, we've had 18 matchups so far. Jeremy's in the lead, guessing 9 out of 18 correctly. Jacob's in second place, guessing 8 out of 18.
As
Ellis
you
is
can see,
in
we're
third.
we're very good at this, as you can
Yeah.
clearly see.
Not
And
too
then
great
I'm
right now.
leading with 50%.
Ellis has 7 out of 18, and Dan is in dead last with 6 out of 18 after a tough week. So let's start off with college football because why not? We got our college football star here. So I don't know how closely you follow the league, but Arkansas versus Auburn. This is supposed to be a really good game. Let's start off with Jeremy. Jeremy, you put Arkansas down pretty quickly after a tough loss last week. So why are you taking this week?
I mean, I think I just kind of just have faith, and I know I've said this before. My general theory is if a team comes off kind of a tough loss, I feel like often they bounce back the next week if they're a good team, and I do consider Arkansas a good team. So, yeah, that's kind of my logic behind it.
All right. Ellis, also Arkansas.
I do have Arkansas. I mean, Auburn's got the better quarterback, but I like Sam Pittman, and he is coming off a rough loss against Georgia and then Mississippi, I believe, was it? Let me look. It was Mississippi, yeah. So, but I think Auburn's been up and down all season, and I think Arkansas, I think they've been a little more consistent, and I think they take it.
All right, Dan.
Wait, hold on. Go to someone else.
All right.
Wait. Just kidding. Arkansas.
Wow, surprise. All right, Jacob Mikel.
I'm gonna go with Auburn.
And I will follow what Mikel does.
All right.
Does Mikel know your thing about always being right? Have you told him about that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good.
Jacob's never been wrong in the 10 years I've known him. So
It's just the 10 times in this game.
just 10 times. All right. So this is a little bit of a closer one. Oklahoma State versus Texas. Another great rivalry here. Ellis, why don't you tell us why you take Texas, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah, Texas had Oklahoma on the ropes until they blew it last week. They've been really good at times. Of course, they've had lapses in concentration. I like Sarkisian as their coach. And I think it comes down to their rushing attack. I mean, okay. I'm going to say this. Sean Tucker, Bijan Robinson, both having very good seasons, but like both of them are top.
For Heisman.
I was gonna say Robinson might be the best college back, but I didn't want to offend anyone here. But regardless, Bijan Robinson definitely a top 5 college back. And I think their rushing attack leads them to a victory. And this time, unlike Oklahoma, they hold on to the win.
Jake, who you taking?
I gotta go with Texas just because I didn't see Oklahoma State play this year. Yeah.
Danny, you look very eager.
Now I'm gonna go with Texas. I've been crunching the numbers. Texas is 5th in the league in the nation in points scored, and that's not even counting Ithaca. And Oklahoma State is 89.
You're right. They're not counting Ithaca in those top 5.
We're not counting Ithaca, unfortunately. But 5 is better than 89, so I'm gonna roll with Oklahoma State.
5
No,
is
just
better
kidding.
than
Texas.
89.
My bad.
Yeah.
Texas.
Texas it is. All right, let's sauce on to some NFLs because Jeremy, I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's talk about something that you're a little more familiar with, Jeremy. You got the Cardinals and the Browns. Cardinals are undefeated this year. Kyler Murray is looking like the front runner for MVP, looking absolutely insane. I think I'm the only one here that can tackle him. But Jeremy, why would you take the Cardinals over the Browns?
I think for me, it's kind of a really close game because I think this kind of seems like a trap game for the Cardinals just because they've been rolling really well. They've had a lot of big victories so far, and I feel like they kind of were slowing down a little bit last week, and they beat the 49ers, but their offense was probably by far their lowest output. So and especially against the Browns defense, if they're not quite as hot, I could easily see this being an upset. And especially given that the Browns lost in that kind of heartbreaker last week. So I think for me, it's kind of my instincts kind of say the Browns might win this one, but I just think giving credit to Cardinals for what they've been able to do and how they've been able to dispatch really good teams like the Rams this year, just feel wrong not to take the Cardinals. So I guess I'm taking the Cardinals, but my instincts kind of say Browns.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals. I mean, you saw what Herbert did to that secondary, and we don't know if Denzel Ward's going to play. So that's not going to help their secondary at all. They need some Mikel Jones 4 interceptions in that team because right now they cannot stop the passing game whatsoever. Yeah, they got Myles Garrett. But I think not Myles Garrett. I think Kyler Murray outduels Baker Mayfield, who played well. To my credit, last week I kind of shit on Baker Mayfield and he played very well, but I think Kyler Murray still outduels him, and I think Cardinals end up with the win because of that.
I'll go, or
Yeah. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Browns in this one. I know the Cardinals are still undefeated, but what the Browns team did last week against the Chargers just shows me the potential of this Browns team and running the ball very, very well. Both Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, very, very good.
Two-headed monster.
Halfback duo, yeah. And scoring 42 points 1 week like this, they're not going to cool off and just score nothing next week. I think it's going to be another high-scoring game, but I do think the Browns are going to take this one.
All right. Danny.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals and the Chargers are very similar teams, explosive offenses, young quarterbacks with mobility. But I think we got to give credit to the Cardinals defense. They've been playing really well as of late. Things are really coming together. Cliff Kingsbury, Ellis's boy, really got the guys playing well. So I keep picking the Browns, and they keep letting me down. I don't think that Baker Mayfield can keep up with Kyler Murray. Give me the Cardinals.
That's fair. And we have Chargers Ravens as our last prediction. All right. I thought you guys were picking as a team. That's why I was confused.
Jacob doesn't do teams.
Jacob does not do teams.
I'll go with the Cardinals.
Do you think would you rather tackle like Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson? What do you think's harder there?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. What are you talking about? Lamar Jackson.
I mean, Kyler Murray is very elusive, but I guess
not like
Russell
Lamar.
Wilson or Kyler would be a better question.
Insane.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Lamar Jackson, we're actually going to move on to a matchup involving him, Chargers versus Ravens. We're all picking the Chargers after an MVP caliber performance from Lamar himself. So I was a little confused about this. Daniel, care to shed some light on this?
Well, I actually didn't put my predictions in. I'm really thinking about it. It's a close game. I mean, Lamar, tremendous quarterback performance, pretty good for a running back. But the Chargers, man, they're just playing out of their mind too. I think this is the game of the week. It's going to be really close. But again, I think the loss of Marcus Peters here really hurts the Chargers, really hurts the Ravens, because the Chargers not just one guy. It's Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Jared Cook making big plays down the field,
And Austin Eckler out the backfield.
and Austin Eckler, fantasy MVP. So I just think that the Chargers are just a little bit too much for the Ravens to handle right now. So give me the Chargers.
Syracuse boys, who are you guys taking?
I'm going to take the Chargers. I think Herbert's too good for this Ravens defense to handle. And this Ravens defense does not look good at all, giving up lots of points to these offenses that are not good. But, I'm taking the Chargers.
I have to go with the Chargers.
Justin Herbert balls, man.
Missing a lot of people right
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Ellis. I know your boy Justin Herbert, so
Yeah,
go with
I
it.
mean, if you look at like a win's a win in the NFL, so I'm not taking anything away from the Ravens. But if you look at them, they lose to the Raiders in OT. They beat the Chiefs because they beat the Chiefs on a fumble. So, and the win's a win. But they've other than the Broncos game, a lot of their games have been extremely close.
Yeah.
And involving Ravens late comebacks.
If I might say something about that. So I was looking at a Ravens Instagram post. The Ravens literally had a post that said, "I'm sorry, fans," showing all three of their victories. And I think one of them was the 66-yard field goal against the Lions, he was a big Lion fan, so that was very enjoyable for us. One of them was the last second win against the Chiefs. And one of them was this crazy win this week. So it's like, I just feel like they haven't really had a convincing win yet. Like a win's a win and it counts in the scorebooks, but for predictions, I feel like the Chargers have just been more consistent.
And
I don't know. I was gonna say, and Lamar Jackson had an MVP-like performance, but so did Justin Herbert. So like,
and last year, this is not the same Chargers of 2020, in which they blew leads. I mean, you've seen them solidify their lead against Chiefs. Brandon Staley's got big balls and goes for it fourth down. This team is very good.
He plays like we play Madden. Honestly,
yeah.
Staley.
Yes, Fox.
What's the thinking behind that mustache?
Pure sexiness is the thinking. Pure sexiness.
Okay.
All right, we've got to that point. No, it looks good. He looks like a Russian.
I like it. No, I like it.
I've actually never grown out my facial hair, and I look like a child when I don't have facial hair, so I feel like I gotta start growing it out.
Well, I agree with that part. 100%.
Best point you made on
Thank
the
you.
podcast yet.
Thanks, Foxy. All right.
I think final question.
Mikel,
before,
I have a question for you. Clemson, Syracuse. Who you got?
What kind of question is that? Come on.
Who we got? I want to hear it. Let's go Syracuse. All right. I'll be rooting for you guys, even though I'm a Rutgers fan.
Actually, I do have one last question. If we set up the camera in the hallway, would you do an Oklahoma drill with Jacob?
Oh yeah, we'd like that content for the pod. We would really like that content.
He said he would do it.
Yo, can we just
Let's
get a
do it.
video of it, please? Of Jacob getting tackled.
Okay, it's not like you're not going to injure him, Jacob. So it's all good. He's all good for football season.
I don't want to injure him.
I don't want to injure him. He's got a big game on Friday.
You don't want to destroy his self-esteem.
All right. Well, with that, we pretty much come to the conclusion of this podcast, especially this guest segment. So, Mikel, thank you so much for coming on. We had a lot of fun and really
thanks.
Yeah, genuinely, thank you. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you want to plug anyone, anything at this point, feel free to, whether it be Syracuse football, your teammates, anything you'd like. We'll be quiet for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, shout out to the Syracuse defense, and shout out to the team, Syracuse.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. And Jake, thanks for getting him.
All right. I'm sorry we do not have a wacky sport of the week for you this week due to the interview, but we hope you enjoyed that.
Jacob doing the Oklahoma drill with Mikel was the wacky sport.
Yeah, we're gonna get Jacob to do that. But yeah, so thank you for listening to the podcast, and thank you, Mikel Jones, for coming on. I know he plugged his defense, but let me plug his Instagram. It is Mikel Jones 13. So yeah, Mikel Jones, thank you for coming on. It was a great podcast. Yeah. So if you want to start a podcast with Buzzsprout, you can do that. Just use the link in our bio or podcast description, and you can do the free plan. You can do paid plan. You get a $25 gift card with the paid plan, and it's truly an easy and great platform to start your podcast on and get your thoughts out to the world. So go do that. If you want to follow our podcast, we are everywhere, every single podcast platform, wherever you want to listen, but Amazon. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you always know when the new podcast is out. We usually come out Saturdays and Sundays. This episode should be out Friday, hopefully. Social media. Yeah, this episode should be out Friday. Social media. You can also go follow our Instagram and Twitter at What.Podcast. You always know when the new podcast is out there as well. On Twitter, we got Dan with his Red Sox fandom on the account. And on Instagram, we got photoshops, polls, interactive stuff like that. Plus, you can use the link in our Instagram bio to follow the podcast on Spotify. On YouTube, we post highlights, interviews, all that stuff. It's at Who's on Top, WHO'S ONTOP. Same thing as our Spotify, as as our Spotify and all the same thing. And like, subscribe, turn notifications, comment, all that good stuff. You know what to do. All right, you've been listening to Who's on Top podcast, episode 80, 20 away from 100. Not to count down, but hope you have a great week. Hope you enjoy the podcast. It's getting cold out, so stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye.
Bye.